Hi guys, welcome back. Always in interview you will find that one common question that what is the difference between ECC and S4HANA. And if you'll say that ECC is the old technology, S4HANA is the new technology, so you won't stand out. So in this video I'm going to share that as a consultant, as a functional consultant, how you are going to explain this particular answer, the difference between ECC and S4HANA. Now, as a functional consultant, always you need to start with business point of view. So let's start from the business context, and in this way we are going to set the background. Why did this SAP even move from ECC to S4HANA? Because when you will take the migration project, that time many often you will find this question from customer also. As already we invested a lot, so why should we will move from ECC to S4HANA? And that is why in interview also companies always ask these questions. What is the main reasons why we need to move here? So if you can say that ECC was working fine, there is no issue with ECC, but it was completely dependent on the traditional database like Oracle, DB2 or SQL, anything you can take here. Business always wanted that faster reporting, real-time analysis, okay, and a simplified process. Initially when SAP introduced the particular application, that is ECC application, that time the main purpose was to give the best integrated applications. Integrated means ERP point of view, we are going to integrate multiple modules, multiple business process, and for that purpose ECC was good. But gradually when the requirement is related to reporting, BW system introduced, and now our main requirement along with our ERP, we need the reporting solution also. So in that case ECC was really struggling in multiple areas. So you need to start your answer from this point, that when we got the SAP introduced the S4HANA, which is completely a new ERP system which is built on the HANA in-memory database. For the benefit of all, let me quickly explain what is the R3 structure or this old structure ECC. If you'll see this diagram, so we have, this is our database layer, this one is our application layer, which is nothing but your SAP ECC or ERP, anything you can say, and this is our presentation layer. So here you will find that when we are working on ECC system, so the database is, because earlier SAP they don't have their own database, so they have just designed the application, means the NetWeaver they have designed, and it was working on any database. But as it is not SAP's own database, so what is the limitation of a particular traditional RDBMS? So those limitations are available here, like the old structure of processing. This is related to again like you can say a row-based table, right? So parallel processing was not available. So if I will explain, because this point again one self-explanation required. So if I will go into this, mainly we will deviate from our topic. So in different time I will explain all this, the R3 structure, right? This is how the old structure was there. And when we are going to bring the data for processing purpose, so here completely like we are dependent on the application layer, because here it just we are using for the storage purpose, means here data processing is not possible. So we need to bring all your data for processing purpose here. So that is why, because of all the limitations whatever I said, the traditional database, the traditional RDBMS, right, then the old structure of table, row based architecture, right, and parallel processing was not available because of locking mechanism. So if we combine everything, this system was completely slow system when we are going for reporting, because one of the main problem with the row based architecture is every time when we are going to run the report, it is going to read all the informations whatever it is there in the table. And one more important thing here, whenever you are going to answer, because you are functional consultant, right? So when you are going to answer any questions, immediately don't jump into the technical side. So first you need to explain the business process, and business process point of view, what are the problems are there. Till now whatever I have explained, these are the technical things, just for benefit of all I explain. But again in another video in detail I will explain all this architecture and what are the main limitations with that. Now if we'll understand the key difference, business process point of view, as a functional consultant, what are the area we need to focus. So the main part you can say the difference, business process difference. So let's take here 5 main points. That is, first one we will take here the database. So as the old system, all the EC system, it was running on the old database. So different companies, you are using the different database. Somewhere you will find Oracle, somewhere DB2. So this is why what are the limitations with the database, it was also there in the SAP system. Whereas in the S4 system, now all this will be replaced with your HANA database. So now instead of we are going for any third-party database, now we are going for the HANA database. So S4HANA, or the 4th generation application, is working on the, or it is running on the HANA database rather than any third-party database. And HANA is in-memory database. In-memory database means here we are going to, as we know that there are two types of storage. One is your auxiliary memory, which is nothing but your disk-based storage, and another one is your RAM, where we are going to store the data, main memory. So in HANA, we are going to store the data in our in-memory or in the main memory, which is connected with the processor. So now processing is much more faster than a traditional database where we are going to keep the data in the disk. Plus table also changed. Now instead of row based, now we have columnar table. So it is going to, earlier we have batch processing. Now it is we have the much more faster processing will be there, because it is going for, or it is supporting the real-time analytics. So technically, if you'll see the old database, which is having all the limitations, whatever I explained, whereas S4HANA, or the new generation application, is only working on HANA database. And HANA database is mainly, we are going to keep the data in main memory, which is possible that we can go for parallel processing. Obviously, processor point of view, the technology is also much more advanced than the old one, and it is supporting the real-time analytics. As a result, now your reporting is much more faster than the new system, than the old system. And earlier, when we are working with the traditional database, we have two systems will be there. So one will be your OLTP system, where basically that is nothing but your ERP system, and another one will be reporting point of view, we will go for BW system. So all the transaction data we need to move from your ERP system to your BW system for the processing purpose. So here the ETL concept is applicable, right? So again, the batch processing will be there, ETL will be there. So business point of view, it is cost effective. Again, that batch processing is also one hectic job, and ultimately we are not going to get the report in the real time. So this is one of the reason where companies, that main reason you can say that technically this is a main reason, as business want faster reporting and a smooth experience from the technical point of view. So they want move from the HANA database to your from ECC database, like any third-party database, to HANA database. So that is the first basic difference you can say from the technical point of view. Now coming to number two, we will take here that data model simplifications. In ECC, there are many duplicate tables are there. So who are currently working on ECC, or you have experience on ECC, you can connect this one with this point you can connect. For example, in SAP or in the old system FI, you have many tables, like you have accounting table, BSEC table. Then we have series of index tables are there. It may be related to GL open item, clear item, BSIS or BSAS, or controlling point of view, COEP, right? So customer point of view, BSID, BSID, like series of tables are there, right? So those are your duplicate tables. Means whatever the data is available in your BSEC table, similar data is also available in your aggregate total, or you can say your index tables are there. So that is again another problem. Lot of reconciliations we have to do here. So let's take one example. Whenever any financial transactions we are going to post, right? So let's say FI transactions posted, a GL expense we posted along with the cost update, some cost center we have added. Now in this case, the output will be there in the FI table. So you are going to have two documents. You can see this document. So you will find two documents are there. One is your FI document, another one is your CO document. So FI document is there in the FI table, and CO document is there in the CO table. So FI document you will find in the BSEC, and CO document you will find in the COEP. So with one transaction, two documents are available. Two documents means two table or multiple tables are there, right? So for example, let's say we posted one cost. Initially the cost center was matching, FI data was matching with the cost center data. Although two tables are updated, that is your COEP and BSEC table, but in month end when we performed the month end allocation, now let's say COSS table updated or COSP table updated because of our month end allocation. Now after that, it is not going to match with your GL data. So GL balance after month end is not going to match with your controlling reports, or you can say controlling report is not matching with your GL report. So as a result, business had to spend many hours for this reconciliation activities. This problem in S4HANA is very much solved. You can see initially we have recorded the cost, and you can see only one document is there. So this is only one FI document is there. So where we have FI information is there, as well as the cost center information is there, or your universal journal or AC docket table includes both FI data as well as controlling data, right? And when in month end we are going to allocate the cost, you can see this particular document. So here, with reference to the internal CO document, simultaneously we are going to have the finance document is also available. This finance document is known as your universal journal or reconciliation document. And who posted this document? This document was not posted by anyone. The moment we perform the month end allocations or any activity in controlling, automatically you are going to have the finance document. You can see this header information. So with reference to this particular activity, we got the reconciliation document, and the entire process is part of your AC docket table. So universal journal includes FI data, CO data, month-end allocations, and the reconciliation informations. So reconciliation is by design, or reconciliation is automated. So our third point is user experience. In ECC, we are mostly working on GUI based. That means the screen you will find very traditional screen, and here we are going to use the transaction codes. Whatever activities you are going to use, you are going to use the transaction code basis. Whereas in S4HANA, we have different Fiori applications are there, and it is completely role based. Anything you want to do for that one application is available, and it is like you can say mobile ready dashboard. So whatever device you are going to use, accordingly that interface will be there. So if you are using in the laptop, accordingly the page will be there. If you are going to use in the tab, it will be accordingly, it will be there. Even if you are going to use in the mobile, it is also accordingly will be there. So it is not device specific, not like your traditional way you have to use your laptop. So in any device you can use. And for every activity we have applications are there. You want to post a customer invoice, one application is available, and still GUI is there if we'll go for on-premises. But along with the on-premises, we are going to use the Fiori platform or the cloud platform, and it is completely role based. That means if I'm the user, I supposed to do a particular activity, so in my dashboard that particular application will be there. Another user is not responsible for that work, so in that particular user can't access that one. It is completely role based. Now business can have a better control on their users for their work. So if your finance manager want to see some reports, they no need to remember the 10 transaction codes. Instead of that, they are just going to log into the Fiori Launchpad, and here they are going to get their KPIs, they are going to get the reports, various informations are available, right? With very easy way. So it is much more user friendly, and we are going to get like more detailed informations, and that too without having any technical knowledge. Anyone just having some basic knowledge about the SAP platform, they can access this one. That is because of the cloud platform which is available with the HANA system or in S4HANA system. Our fourth point will be functional specifications, because nowadays every company, they are trying to simplify their business process, and many processes are removed here, or it is merged, or it is simplified in S4HANA. For example, in ECC, when we are working on the credit analysis, so in that case we are going for traditional SD credit analysis, which is no more available in SAP, or here we have to use FSCM credit management, right? So when you will go for migration projects, it is one of the mandatory requirement that we have to migrate the credit management from the traditional SD credit management to S4HANA FSCM credit management. So this is another big move, you can say. Another example here we can take, that is related to material ledger. Earlier, material ledger is a big headache for the companies, because when they are going for material ledger point of view, series of documents will be generated, and it was again very difficult to adopt. Whereas in S4, material ledger is mandatory. That means now actual costing with multiple currency valuations and all, always it is active. What extent business it is going to use material ledger, that is of course as per their requirement, but by default or material ledger is mandatory. And material ledger point of view, we are not going to have those ML series of tables will be there. So now AC docket table is going to include your material ledger related informations. And for material ledger, we are not going to have any separate document. Those informations also you will find accounting in your accounting document. That means now inventory valuation point of view informations will be there. All your output we are going to get as it is, but separately we are not going to have any document. So there will be no separate tables, or there will be no reconciliation. There will be no load on the business process. So it is again another big move from SAP point of view, and it is going to simplify the business process. Like this, you take asset accounting, bank accounting, many things are simplified here in S4HANA related to your business process. Controlling part is also much more simplified here. FICO reconciliation, again another important point here you can add. Now coming to asset accounting, in ECC we are mainly working on the classic asset accounting, whereas in S4HANA your new asset accounting replaced your old asset accounting, and which integrates much better way in your universal journal. Those delta depreciation concepts are gone. Right now we can take multiple depreciation areas at parallel as per the parallel accounting. So here we have parallel accounting as well as parallel valuation. So this is again another benefit to the business. Number 5 will be reporting and analytics. In ECC, reports are always depend on aggregates or index. I have given some idea related to index tables. For example, you want to prepare a customer aging report. So we need to bring the customer open item from BSID table, cleared items from BSID table. Those reconciliation informations we are going to take it from the Fagel-Flexa and Fagel-Flex-T. Then only we are going to prepare the required reports. But now all these things are available in your universal journal or in AC docket, whether it is open items, cleared items, accounting information, subledger information, your GL data. So everything is part of your universal journal. And in ECC, sometimes we have to run the batch jobs, like you can say overnight, like it will take 4 to 5 hours to complete one particular report or one particular batch. Whereas nowadays it is just in couple of minutes we are going to get the information because of parallel processing, because of in-memory technology, because of CDS view. So we are going to get the real-time analytics, and of course Fiori app is already with us for the embedded analytics. That means now BW is embedded with your normal system. So we not like a traditional way, we are going to maintain two systems, like one is OLTP system and another one will be OLAP system. So now let's say business CFO wants to open one Fiori KPI tile. So immediately no need to ask to anyone to get any report and all, just they are going to use the particular applications and the data is available. They can see the revenues, payable, profitability status without waiting for any batch jobs. So that is definitely one game changer. Now it is next question is how we will answer all these questions. Don't just memorize the things. You have to make a list of 10 points, 5 differences, right? And it is always required that whenever you are going to answer anything, you have to practice those scenarios. In fact, like if you'll see, I have explained so many things here. I have not like memorized anything because I'm familiar with this particular concept. So when I'm explaining something, that means I can visualize the things. I know what is FICO reconciliation. I know how the material ledger valuation it will be there. So if you will not practice in the system, if you will not experience everything, the universal journal, how it is simplified, the issues and all. So in that case, you have to memorize the thing. And when you will memorize the things, if any cross questions will be there, so that time it will be very difficult to answer those questions. So that is why whatever the points, let's say you have listed 5 points, so make sure that those 5 points or 5 scenarios you have actually practiced in the system. The scenario is ready with you. Then only when you will add small examples, your answers or your answer like real consultants, even if you are just, let's say, completed your training and now you are preparing for your interview. So this confidence you will get once you will practice in the system in detail. So that is highly required for your preparation point of view. You can also add few points related to migration ECC to S4HANA, and don't just say that it is migration means it is to S4HANA. It's just a technical upgrade. It's not just a technical upgrade. We have many things are there, and it requires a complete process adoption. For example, right now in ECC, we are working on customer master and vendor master separately. Let's say one party is our customer and same party is our vendor too. So we have to create 2 master records in ECC system, and we have to link that customer master and vendor master. So payment point of view, collection point of view, and master data point of view. Whereas in S4, we have the business partner concept. So by using, or we can create one business partner, and there we can activate both customer roles as well as our supplier role. So both combined into the business partner, one master record we are going to create. So before migration, here you have to explain how the CVI concept is applicable when we are going to migrate our existing customers or supplier as business partner, how we are doing the data cleansing, right? So here you can say that when we are working on the migration project, what are the inconsistencies we have found here, how we did the data cleansing. So these things, once you will practice all these things in the system, it will be easy for you to answer. Asset accounting point of view, you can give the example how the smoothing method is simplified. So because we don't have the smoothing and catch up method here, so how the fat table is going to simplify the things, right? So how asset accounting we are going to migrate to the new asset accounting, what are the changes related to your chart of depreciation, so how the depreciation area is now your real depreciation area, right? So material ledger impact. So all these things you have to include. I'm not saying that everything you can answer or you can include in one particular answer, but at least 5 to 10 points, keep it handy, so that when you will this question 100% it will be there. What are the difference between ECC or S4HANA, or why the customer should move from ECC to S4HANA? So if you are ready with 5 to 10 points, which you can confidently you can add, so that your answer will be more realistic and practical oriented. If you have any questions, any point on this, you need more explanation on this point, whatever I have touched here briefly, let me know. I will add a detailed video on that. See you soon with another topic. Bye.